Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome back to our Files Insights. Welcome. I welcome you into the world of the Turk, the divine, the beautiful. It's an absolute pleasure to be here. This is going to be the predictions for the month of April. Is it going to be a better month? Is it going to be a worse month? What's going to happen in the U.S. and other parts of the countries? Definitely, before we get started, I'm going to use my spiritual spray. I lost it. Oh, it's right here. My spiritual spray to protect my energy, to open up my energy so that I could see everything very clearly. And it's going to be, basically, we're going to see what manifests today. And before we get started, make sure you guys hit the like button, follow me, like my videos, let me know what you guys want me to talk about. As always, whenever you guys ask me to talk about something, it helps me with finding topics, predicting stuff. If not, I just choose random stuff. But absolutely. Definitely, we're going to get started and let's get straight to it. The Emperor is going to be the card that's going to be ruling throughout the entire month of April. The card of the Emperor tells us that it's going to be another very radical month. It's going to be another very radical month in terms of climate. It's going to be another very radical month in terms of political parties going head to head. We have more elections, which I'll tell you who's going to win. I believe Ecuador has an election. I'll let you guys know who's going to win in terms of that election, and that it's going to be another strong month. That it's going to be a month of radical changes to the economy, radical changes to employment. One of the things that I see in my visions is that I see mass layoffs. If I see more businesses filing for bankruptcy. If you haven't yet put your investments from the stock market into something more secure, or I would urge you, because I see a crash in terms of the stock market. I see that we are already in a recession. They're just not calling it, and that we're headed for something worse. That a recession is imminent, friends. A recession is imminent. I have a vision of a church burning, friends. I'm seeing a vision of a church burning. I want to say it's either going to be in Europe or in the United States, but I'm seeing a church burning, friends. It's the vision. That's where I feel it. But in terms of the card of the Hierophant shows me that a church is going to be burning, but also that there's going to be radical changes coming to the Vatican, to the Pope. They were talking about how the Pope was close to passing away, that he actually did pass away, or they thought that he passed away for a few seconds, I believe, that he wasn't responsive for a few seconds, and that they decided to bring him back to life. I say they're just trying to move a narrative, because even though the religious is not necessarily political, behind the scenes it's very political, if you guys understand what I mean. But the card of the Hierophant tells me that I still see a new Pope. I see another very, very difficult health crisis for the Pope. And in my visions, I have to be honest with you, I see him very critical in May or very soon, that he could be passing very soon. I don't see him leaving this year, to tell you the truth. Hopefully people's prayers help him, but that's one of the visions that I have. And that they're trying to move a narrative because they're trying to figure out who they're going to put. That I see that they're trying to go back to backwards, back to more so like, what's the word? More so into something more. I can't think of the word. Give me 1 second. I'm going to think of the word. Something more proper, someone more proper, that they're trying to put someone more proper, like an Italian or something. That it could be, like I said, I believe I had said already that it could be, the next Pope could be Italian. They're trying to go with something more old school. I think that's the term that I'm looking for. In terms of the elections, I see that Daniel Noboa is going to win the elections in Ecuador. I had already told you, friends, that I do see that they're trying to push a more radicalized person to take control, but I still see Daniel Noboa winning those elections in Ecuador and staying as president. And with King Charles, I also see him passing soon as well. I also don't believe he has much time. That he's going to be critical again. I see a health crisis as well for King Charles. They're trying to do everything they can, um, but I see that he's going to be passing soon. That I see death very close for him. We just had a someone very well known. I forgot. I'm sorry. I do apologize. I do not remember the person's name because I didn't really know him. But someone very well known had gotten into an accident and unfortunately they passed. I still see someone much more famous getting into an accident or or suffering some sort of a terror attack attempt against their life, and unfortunately they don't make it. So I still see someone even more well known having issues with their planes, having some sort of a situation of that sort. In terms of that, um, I still see someone more famous. That was similar to what I was seeing, but I don't see that he's the one that I was seeing in my visions. I see the explosion of some sort of like a power plant or some sort of like a plant. Not too sure what it is, but I see like a bit like a building of some sort, and I see like an explosion. So, but I'm seeing it in Europe. Yeah, I want to say it's Europe or Asia. Those are the two places where I'm thinking it's going to be where, but I'm leaning more towards Europe. I also see mass protests in the United States to against Trump. I see mass protests, and I see people coming out into the streets or organizing to protest him. Finally, because it hasn't been happening as much as it I would think it would happen with so many people kind of screwed over with all the things that have been going on. But I definitely see huge protests in the United States, like mass protests. And Puerto Ricans are not safe from the things that Trump is doing. I see that Trump is going to try to sell Puerto Rico again, or trade Puerto Rico, because I see some sort of change coming to Puerto Rico coming from the administration or something that they're trying to do. Just giving you guys a heads up. I think they're trying to also make you guys not necessarily like citizens or part of the United States so that they can send you back over there. So you guys want to be careful as well. You guys are not safe either. And I see another president or dictator in Latin America, like not wanting to pursue power again or resigning. I'm not too sure who it is. I I don't think it's I gotta figure out who it is. I cannot remember the name of the person that's coming to mind, but I will let you guys know in my Raphael's Insight show. If you don't watch my show, make sure you guys watch it because I make a lot of good predictions there, and it's every Wednesday. I think I'm gonna move it to 1:30. And there's more heat waves coming, friends. I am seeing more heat waves in terms of climate. I see some rain, not enough to not cause a drought. I see more heat than rain. So I see more heat waves for the United States, Mexico, and Canada as well. So I see heat waves. I'm telling you, friends, summer arrives sooner. It looks like there's not going to be a spring. Other than there can be a little bit of days here and there where it is kind of cold. But when it's hot, it's going to be extremely hot. That's what I'm seeing in terms of that. And I also see earthquakes, friends. I see earthquakes either in San Diego or Los Angeles. And I want to say 5.5 to 6.1 is what I'm seeing for you guys to be aware of. And then I see earthquakes also in Mexico, like a bunch of earthquakes in Mexico. And I want to say that one is going to be 5.6 to a possible 6.3 is what I'm seeing in my vision. So between there, Mexico, Latin America, I'm seeing earthquakes between 5.6 to 5.6, I believe that's what I said, to 6.3, between that there, Mexico, Latin America. And um, in Asia, I see more big earthquakes in Asia, so you guys want to be prepared. In Asia, I'm still seeing 7.1 to 7.4. You guys want to continue to be prepared in Asia. Definitely. Definitely. I also see a tornado in my visions for the south. I want to say it's for the south, like a really big tornado, like kind of like the way that I see it is kind of like the like that movie Twister, I believe it's called, the one with Glenn Powell, the new one, where there was like a really big tornado, and but in my visions, it's like a tornado that happened, I think about 100 years ago or a few years back. That's gonna repeat itself because I'm seeing like if it goes through multiple states. So it's gonna be big. I see something historical coming in terms of a tornado, friends. Be careful. Be careful to my friends in the south. And I do see friends that they are going to go after Nicolas Maduro. I do see that the Trump administration is going to try to do something against Nicolas Maduro, Venezuela. It's just a matter of time that we see what's their plan with them, because I see something moving in terms of Venezuela from the administration right now, that's the Trump administration. So something's going on. I already told you, Elon is not going to let go of that vengeance. He's going to take vengeance against Venezuela or against Nicolas Maduro. And I continue to see that. I'm not too sure what that means, but I continue to see it. But other than that, friends, it looks like it's going to be another very strong, another strong month. Um, but definitely, I would say just be prepared for anything. Be prepared for anything. I see that it's going to continue to be very radical. And in terms of the heat, if you haven't prepared for the heat, start preparing, because it's going to be worse than ever before, friends. But other than that, friends, that's pretty much it. It's an absolute pleasure. If you guys enjoy my predictions, let me know in the comments below. And what else was I going to say? Oh, actually, false alarm, friends. Doge. In my visions, I see resignations. I had already told you guys that I didn't know what that necessarily that means. I think it's the resignation of Elon Musk. But I see more resignations, and I also see the program Doge being removed. So it's just a matter of time. After a while, something's going to happen against the department of Doge, and it's just a matter of time. It's just we just have to continue getting through whatever's going on. But to me, in my visions, I see the Department of Doge being eliminated or radical changes to it, and Elon Musk is no longer in charge. And I see resignations. So something's going to happen in terms of that as well. But other than that, friends, that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoy my predictions. It's always a pleasure to bring you guys my predictions. Make sure you guys hit the like button. In the description below, you'll find my private readings, because they did open. Also, it is my birthday month. And it is my birthday month. And I did put in Amazon wish list. If you guys want to buy something from my Amazon wish list, it is very appreciated, and it's always appreciated, friends. I'll see you guys next time. And if you want more predictions, watch my show, Raphael's Inside Show. I always predict more predictions there. I do it every Wednesday, so whatever didn't make it here will make it into there. And it's an absolute pleasure. I'll see you guys next time. And yep, bye-bye.